Matt Lenihan Boxing Social, in association with Empire Fight Store and our Kings. We're here with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, I feel like I've been here 2 weeks already. It's a great fight week, but there's long days, aren't there?
Long days, and long for the fighters as well. You know, I think sometimes when people experience Riyadh season for the first time, it does take them by surprise just how much work goes into it, and you know, the commercial requirements and the attending dinners and all this kind of stuff. That's why sometimes people who have done it before benefit from that. You know, if you look at, like, I don't know, Hamza against Carlos Adames, I think it's a very tough fight for Hamza, but you don't know how Adames is taking all this in, you know, the check weights and, you know, the appearances here, appearances there. So, yeah, it's a long week, but a great week. You know, we're all lucky to be involved in just an incredible night on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Has that caught a few people out, that check weight? I mean, how's Shakur reacted to it? I know what's gone on.
It's in everybody's contract, but not a lot of people read contracts, you know. So obviously our job, like, we will tell our fighters weeks before and we'll make sure they're aware. But there have been, I won't mention any names, teams that have turned up and gone, what is this on Wednesday? You know, for the people watching this interview, the British Boxing Board of Control sanction these shows. And one of their rules is that in a championship fight on a Wednesday, they will check the fighters' weights, and you can only be a certain percentage over your check weight, over your fight weight. The problem with that is that fighters make weight in many different ways. What the board are trying to do with that is to stop you crashing weight late. The downside of it is, in my opinion, is the fighters are making weight for Wednesday. Then they're rehydrating. Then they're making it again for Friday. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not an expert. I don't tell you what's better. But certainly for the international fighters, you know, they're not on our team, but someone said, what is this? It's like, it's in your contract. No, it's not. It's like, okay, go and read it. It is. Oh, damn, didn't read that part. You know, it's like, got to kind of be on top of it a little bit more than that. But if you don't do it, and if you make weight in a certain way, like, a lot of fighters will cut extreme weight late on, right? They want to have the smallest amount of time cutting weight and the fastest amount of time to rehydrate, if that makes any sense. Some fighters don't do couple of pound during the week, you know? No food. They would rather late on, Thursday night, you know, they make weight. And still, the board don't like me, because I've been fined in the past, many, many years ago, talking about how a fighter made weight. There's still this bizarre thing from the board where they kind of try to deny how fighters make weight, and, you know, they're not allowed to do that. How do you think they make weight? I mean, like, but what they try to do is stop you from cutting extreme weight late on. I just don't know the science behind what's better in terms of making weight for Wednesday, because they're all making weight for Wednesday. You know, people like Virgil Ortiz, good example. He's turned up. He's like, I got to be what weight on Wednesday? So, like, all week they're like getting themselves in a position to make that weight, and then they weigh in at 9 o'clock in the morning Wednesday, and they're like, you know, and then check their weight in the evening. It's like, oh my God, we've got to go again for Friday. You know, the other argument is, no, it's good because they make that weight, and then actually they're in a good position to make the weight safely for the Friday. Yeah. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad rule, but I also don't think it's good to make a weight on Wednesday and then rehydrate and then have to do it all again on Friday.
Well, one person it seems to have not caught out, but obviously the reports about Floyd Schofield. I think we've sort of gone around the houses with all that, and we've done it. I spoke to you a bit on it yesterday. The father's tweets, which he's now retracted and apologised for. Why are you getting dragged into it? Because he's a golden boy fighter. It's Oscar De La Hoya, but he's called you a liar and karma. And where's that come from?
I think it's because I'm Eddie Hearn. And, like, whenever you need an out or whenever you need to have a dig at someone, why not Eddie Hearn? I mean, I've never met the guy. I've no idea what happened or who he is. The first I knew about it is he's in hospital and the British Boxing Board of Control are phoning me saying, we're obviously not going to let this kid fight. His dad's posting pictures of him with wires everywhere and, like, you know, and then he's saying, I'm a liar, you know, karma will get me. So Floyd Schofield Senior, it'd be nice to get an apology, because I don't know what you're talking about, but if not, don't worry about it. Go fuck yourself. Don't really matter to me, but I don't know the guy. All I know is that Shakur told me he will not get in the ring and fight him. This was 10 weeks ago. And when Floyd Schofield arrived in Saudi, I texted Shakur. And I said, your boy's there. I told you he'd fight you. He went, he won't get in the ring with me. I was like, anyway, it came true. Now, I don't know anything about the situation. If he was ill, whatever, we wish him all the best. Mm-hmm. Not my business. Once the board tell me the kid can't fight, he's out, and I'm focusing on my fighter, Shakur Stevenson. And we're doing a wonder job in getting him in the ring on Saturday night. And I'm pleased that we do it against a Brit who's ranked, who's coming off that big win against Chamberlain on a Riyadh season card, who will change his own life on Saturday.
Yeah, we spoke about Josh Padley yesterday and the story for him, but in terms of Shakur, I know you've had meetings at His Excellency's house, 2 a.m s, that kind of stuff. Has there been further discussions that providing, obviously, things go right for Shakur, things go right for Gervonta Davis, that you look at moving that a little bit closer forward and strengthening the PBC relationship?
I mean, I can't speak on behalf of Gervonta. I think he would be silly not to have those conversations with His Excellency, but that's up to him. And for me, like Tank against Lamont Roach, Shakur against Schofield, like these are, we don't really need these fights. What we need is Tank against Shakur. Let's find out who the best is. That is a huge all-American fight.
Massive.
And that's the kind of fights that should be made. So let's see, get Saturday out of the way and, try and move forward with those kind of nights.
I want to ask you about Dubois Parker. I've seen a few interviews where you obviously favouring Parker on points in that. What's swaying you towards Joseph Parker in that fight? Is it more a want for a Joshua Parker? What's edging it?
I would rather Joshua fights Dubois than Parker.
Really?
Yeah, because he's already beaten Parker. And I want him to get revenge against Dubois. And so does he. But obviously I'm a little bit skewed because I like Joe and I've known him well over the years, but I just feel like the timing of this for Joe is perfect. Doesn't mean he's going to win, but he'll definitely give himself a best chance to win on Saturday night. And the first 6 rounds are going to be key in this fight. He needs to come through them. You've got to kind of break Dubois down. I think Dubois has got a good chin. I don't think you're just going to clean him out with one shot, but you've got to chip away, make him question himself. I think Dubois becomes a lot less dangerous late in the fight, or later in the fight. First 4, 5, 6 rounds, big, strong, dangerous guy. Just chip away, make him second guess himself, make him just think about, slow him down, keep him honest.
I saw comments from Brad Jacobs yesterday suggesting that he believes that Tyson Fury definitely would come back out for an anti-Joshua fight. And then I saw an interview with IFL with Andy Lee, and he said the response he's had from me goes, apparently he's texted Andy saying, look, I can't be fucked with it. Yeah. It's sort of a bit of a flip-flop of opinions.
It's early days, isn't it? I mean, he only got beat by Usyk 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure he can't be fucked with it at the moment. But a lot comes down to physically if he can still do it. I thought he boxed well in the 2 Usyk fights. So I don't think he's deteriorating as a fighter. But if you can't be fucked, you can't be fucked. And you shouldn't fight again. But I don't believe, listen, trips with the kids to Disneyland and all that kind of stuff, it's great and it's really heartwarming and it's great to spend time with your family. But after 5 or 6 months, Tyson Fury might say, fuck it, I miss it. And I hope he does. But I just hope he's happy. So whatever way that plays out with him, I just believe personally that in a few months' time, Tyson Fury is going to say, let's rumble. But maybe that's just hope. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Last couple from me. Oscar De La Hoya's out here. Ben Shalom's out here. I know you've obviously got yourself going against Ben with the Buatsi fight, and you've previously had the Catrell, Barbosa, and on this fight as well. Ortiz Madrimov.
Well, we lost Schofield. I was gutted we lost Schofield Shakur because I thought that was a shoo-in. Do you know what I mean? So I actually jokingly said to Oscar yesterday, you sure you ain't pulled him out just because you knew that Matchroom were going to get a win? Now we're at Ortiz Madrimov, which is a 50-50 fight. So, look, it's just great that we're getting great fights. I don't care when we lose. Of course I do. But if we're getting a fighter a great opportunity and the fans are winning and the product's good and we think we're going to win, if we lose, it's okay. Like, for me, Jack Catchell had it on a plate against Barbosa. He didn't perform. And we lost. That's okay. Ortiz Madrimov, very tough fight. Anything could happen, but what a fight. And if our man wins, and I believe he will, we're in a golden position. Mm-hmm. So it's not really about Eddie Hearn or Matchroom losing. It's about opportunities for the fighters, opportunities for the fans and the business. Now, I never want to lose if we can win on the way. Like if Smith beats Boatzy, I'll be jumping up, going mental. If Bivol beats Beterbiev, going mental. You know, there's been other Matchroom v boxers. It's Matchroom v Top Rank in the main event. You've got Matchroom v Golden Boy. That's just on Saturday night. So, but it's not like... It's very... There's no focus on it, you know. Before that fight, it'll be me and Oscar going, good luck, mate, good, and we'll be screaming and shouting. Boom, when that's over, right, next up, it's Matchroom against Top Rank. Hey, Bob, hello, Todd, good luck, mate, good luck. Like, it's not sort of going home and going, I can't believe I lost to him. Because it's not really like that, you know.
You're close to making the 5v5 with yourself and Frank, though, again. Is that getting Riyadh?
That'll definitely happen. It'll be this summer, you know, and we spoke to His Excellency about that the other night.
In Riyadh or the UK?
Yeah, probably Riyadh.
Anything else, any new signings? Anything else happening?
A string of big signings. I mean, you know, the key for us now is next week in Belfast. I mean, you'll have the Ben Eubank presser next week, which is going to be wild. And then Belfast, we've just actually had another 500 tickets we've been able to release. We're going to have 8,000 sellout in there. It's going to be absolutely wild. And Ennis against Stanionis went on sale yesterday as well. Boardwalk Hall, April 12th. You know, just non-stop. Big show in Sydney, March 22nd. Non-stop. Canada, our first show, Feb 27. Non-stop, Feb 28.
Eddie, appreciate your time.